All right, we have a lot of stuff to talk about today because I gave you homework on top of your Chinese homework and this homework and that homework. But first, did you read Chapter 2 of the BFG?
Yeah.
Yeah? And, well, can you tell me just basically what happened?
Sophie, like, the girl, was sleeping, was, like, looking at the window, and there was, like, a man with a suitcase and a really thin and long trumpet and with a black cloak on, and it was coming to his house. And
to her house, right?
To her house. And then the giant poured kind of like some water in his trumpet. Yeah, that's kind of like how the story ended.
Right there? Did he blow the trumpet?
No, he actually... Wait,
let's take a look at it here. Let me take a look at it. Because, and remember we were talking about, could you picture in your mind what he was writing about?
Oh.
So, yeah? Could you picture in your mind what he was talking about? Did you have an image of your mind of what was happening?
In the end, it said, like, he had, like, in the middle, it said, like, he had, like, big ears. So I was like, is he even a giant?
Well, that's interesting. So when I think of a giant, I think of something like as tall as a building, like 60 stories high. But how tall was this giant?
It was like, I don't think it says like exactly how tall he is. It just says like he was enormous.
Well, remember, how tall are the houses in the neighborhood?
They are really tall. Kind of.
Really? Okay.
They're not too tall. They're like kind of like medium sized.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you remember he stopped in front of a house, in front of Sophie's house, right?
Yeah.
The Gucci's house. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Gucci's. What did they have? What was the family business? Did you know? Could you see?
I don't think it says. Wait, do you see it?
Yeah. Let's. I'm gonna send you.
Or am I just like dumb?
No, you're not dumb at all. No, here. Let me send you just this little section. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and can you just read this?
Wait. The giant had stopped now right on front of Mr. and Mrs. Gucci's house. The Gucci's had a Greengrocers shop.
Greengrocers
shop in the middle of the high street, and the family lived above the shop. The two Gucci children slept in the upstairs front room. Sophie knew that. The giant was peering through the window into the room where Mitchell and Jane Gucci were sleeping. From across the street, Sophie watched and held her breath.
Okay, so remember, you're trying to picture this in your mind, okay? And the giant is coming down, and it's a house, and the bottom floor is a Greengrocers. What do you think that is?
Like a person's name?
Well, do you know what groceries are?
Yeah. I don't want to say like things, kind of like
Yeah, where do you buy groceries?
From the grocery store.
Yeah, very good. And so give me an example of some groceries.
Food?
Yeah, so like crackers or cereal or things like that. You know, you go to the grocery market and you get groceries, right? Usually food. But what groceries are normally green? What would be greengrocers?
I think it might you can recycle and be green.
That is true. That is true. That to be green. But let's think. Okay, so what specific type of foods are normally green?
I was gonna say apple, but I think kind of.
And what type of food? Apples are what?
Fruits.
Yeah. So like fruits, right? And then like lettuce is green and things like that. So greengrocers are people who sell fruits and vegetables. Okay?
Yeah.
So in front of them there's a little house, right?
Yeah.
And on the bottom is like a produce market where they sell fruits and vegetables. And the family lives upstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So, and the giant is just about that height. Okay? So he's not 60 stories tall. He's only about 2 stories tall. Right? Okay.
He's not that tall.
Yeah, he's not a giant, right? He's just a really, really big guy. Okay? And were there any other words you didn't understand? Did you write down any words that you didn't understand from the...
No.
No?
I didn't understand Gucci.
Gucci, it's a silly name. Yeah. The author likes to choose silly names usually. All right, so I want you to keep doing the book. So just read another chapter before next class.
Okay.
And it will be about, a couple more pages. All right. And then you had more homework, right?
Yeah.
But before we do that, can you tell me what was the last section we did in the textbook? What was the topic?
About food?
Yeah, and what about food?
History of foods?
Yeah, the history of foods. And what specifically? Do you remember?
Like pizzas, hamburger, and curry?
Yeah, and what did we learn? What was kind of interesting about pizzas and things like that?
Like it was made from a different place?
Right.
Or when the time?
Yeah.
I think the pizzas were made in the 500s.
Right, where?
In Persia.
Yeah, okay. So we normally think, right, pizza is from Italy, but we learned that actually it might have come from Persia and started in the 500s. What about hamburgers? We think hamburgers are American, right? But where do they actually come from?
From Germany. Hamburg.
Right. Right. Surprisingly. Okay, and then I asked you to write about your favorite food, right?
Yeah.
So, hold on. Let me just get this.
More shorter than the last time.
What's that?
I think I made it more shorter than last time.
Yeah, it was a little short, but I understand. You had a lot of other homework. But I'll tell you the things. Well, let's look at it, and I'll tell you the things I like about it and the things that can be better. So hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Start. Here we go. All right. All right. Can you read what you wrote here?
My favorite food is pasta. The type of pasta I like is cheese and bacon. It is made of pasta, cheese, and bacon. I cook and eat it once a week.
Ah, you did make the change here, once a week. I usually say pasta. Some people might say pasta, but I think the correct, pasta. So wait, let's look. What's that?
What did I say? How did I say it?
You said pasta.
Oh.
And not pasta, right? Yeah, there you go. It's a little but that's okay. That's not a big thing. What I like about this is, again, what we've been talking about: short, simple sentences, right?
Yeah.
And you made the correction here. Let's make this a capital I, right? I cook and eat it.
Wait,
and you said once a week, right?
Oh, I wrote 1 a week.
Yeah, 1 a week, but that's okay. My favorite food is pasta. The type of pasta I like, we might say has cheese and bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of is cheese and bacon. And then it is made of pasta, right? Comma, cheese
and bacon.
Yeah, and bacon. Now, you say I cook and eat it once a week. You actually do the cooking?
Sometimes. No.
Sometimes?
I help my mother cook it.
Okay. I cook and eat it once a week, so maybe we say maybe we say sometimes I help my. What would you say? Sometimes I help my mother. Cook it. Yeah. And then you maybe, because it's you and your mother, you can say we cook and eat it once a week.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So these are great. Most importantly, short, simple sentences. All right?
Okay.
Very good. Very good job. And I know that was a lot. You had a lot of homework. All right. Now, let's just go into the next section of the book. Okay?
Okay.
So it's page 17, right?
Yeah.
And what's the title of the unit?
Hurricane Who?
Yeah. So do you know what a hurricane is?
Yeah, kind of like a tornado mixed with a earthquake.
Tornado mixed with an earthquake?
It's kind of like a tornado, but no wait.
Kind of. Usually tornadoes are just wind, right? That just go really fast. It does go in a circle.
Yeah.
But it's more like a big storm, right? There's lots of wind. There's usually rain and everything. Are there hurricanes in Korea?
No.
No.
Wait, how
about
there
are some
Chile?
In Chile, there aren't either. No, we have earthquakes, we have volcanoes, but the one thing we don't have is hurricanes. Do you know where do you normally? What?
How about tornadoes?
Sometimes, but not. We don't have very big tornadoes. Yeah. Where do you normally hear about hurricanes? What part of the world?
Philippines?
Yeah, maybe. Anywhere else?
I know.
Where?
A few years ago, there was like a hurricane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's hurricanes in the Philippines. I know we have a lot in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah? Usually in the south of the United States. But sometimes they go up to the north. When you were there, was there ever a hurricane?
No.
No? Was there any other kind of scary weather while you were there?
No, only like storms.
Yeah? Yeah, we have some big storms. All right. Let's go through the vocabulary. All right? Can you read number 1?
Strong winds can cause danger. The answer will be the big problem.
Not big problem. What did you say? Big. Does yours say problem?
Yeah.
Oh, mine says trouble. Interesting.
No. Oh, trouble.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing. All right. Number 2. People try to detect typhoons before they come to land.
Oh, detect. Find? B?
Yeah. All right. Number 3.
I need information about when the storm will begin. Facts?
Mm-hmm. Number 4. Typhoons often occur in summer.
Happen?
Yep. Number 5.
Hurricane Fred and Hurricane Gloria had similar wind speeds. Almost the same alike.
Yeah, and I think that's Hurricane Gloria, right? Yeah. And number 6, we should decide what to call this type.
Oh.
You can say it. Why don't you go for it? Number 6.
We should decide what to call this typhoon. Choose.
Yeah. So you understand everything?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on. Okay. So, Hurricane who? Hold on 1 second. All right. All right, so let's can you read the first paragraph, please?
Okay. Tropical
Cyclones?
Cyclones are called typhoons in Asia and hurricanes in North and South America. These storms go around like a wheel turning to the left when they hit the northern part of the world. They have wind speeds of 60 kilometers hour?
Yep.
More in the United States. The Tropical Prediction Center in Miami, Florida, keeps an eye out for hurricanes.
All right, so here's your answer, right?
Yeah.
This is what was confusing, right? Because in Asia, they're called typhoons, right?
Yeah.
In North and South America, hurricanes. But I think the general term for all of them is cyclones. All right, now at the end it says the Tropical Prediction Center in Miami. What do you think that is? What do you think they do?
They predict like when the hurricanes come.
Yeah, maybe when they will come. All right, and it says they keep an eye out for. What do you think that means?
Like,
what do you think? Keep an eye out
for it?
What's that?
Like they keep looking for it.
Yeah, they're always watching. They're looking for this stuff. All right. All right. So let me read the next one. When meteorologists detect a hurricane, they give it a name. They can use either a male or female name. Why should tropical cyclones have names? The name makes it easier for people to keep up with information about a hurricane and its possible dangers. All right? So, whenever there's a new hurricane, right?
Yeah.
They have to give it a name.
Yeah.
And what do they use for names?
Male or female names.
Yeah, isn't that kind of strange that they name a storm after a person, basically?
Like they're gonna die from the hurricane, and they're gonna name it.
Yeah.
It's no sense.
Why? Why do you think it makes no sense?
Cause they should hate it, but they're like kind of like loving it by naming it.
Oh, right, because it has a person's name. What if it was like your sister's name, right? And that was the hurricane that took down your house or something like that. Yeah, maybe they should call it hurricane homework or something bad like that so people could know to watch out for it. Can you read the next paragraph?
The World Meteorological
Yeah.
Organization, WMO, an international weather group, decides what name will be used. The WMO makes a list of names using the English alphabet. Each name on the list starts with a different letter. The hurricane of the year.
The first hurricane
of the year gets the first name on that year's list. The second hurricane gets the next name. For example, if the first hurricane is named Abel.
Yeah, Abel, I think.
Abel, the second might be named Betty. The name list does not include names beginning with the letters Q, W, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, QU, right?
U. There are not many names that begin with these letters. Asian countries use a different list, which is made up by the MWO's Typhoon Committee.
Committee. Yeah.
This lists of a few personal names, but most of the names are of flowers, animals, trees, and other similar things.
All right. So let's just look at this. So how do they name it? How do they choose the names?
They kind of like chose it from like the list from the WMO. They kind of have like a list.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it like every year. If it's the first hurricane of the year, they use the name that was in the list.
Right. So when hurricanes happen, do they invent the name right then, or do they already have a name ready?
They already have a name ready.
Right. They already have probably a list of however many hurricanes, and whatever's next on the list is the one that they choose. All right. Will you just do the questions on page 19 for homework? Okay.
The idiomatic expressions.
Yeah. Expressions. Can you say that?
Expressions.
Yeah, and also the reading comprehension.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great job. I'm sorry I gave you so much homework when you already had so much, but you did a great job. All right. So I will see you next class. All right.
Right.
All right. Bye-bye.